I'm right here.
You can never sleep in traffic. There's living steady panic. I know 'cause I try acid. Now I see through your habits, just like gadgets. You tell me with the two hands, I'm too bad. Wonder what your things are like. Need me to get your bills paid. That's what you said. I guess I'm just too fake for that. So sit down, listen, think for a minute. Know it might be hard 'cause you're uneducated. Break down, face it, breathe for a minute. I'm about to help you with your manners and respect. You get it? Just uneducated. But this so but you make it. One day, manners and respect. I'm a realist. I see your actions like an itchy clitoris. I never listen to the critics. They try to steal you from your feelings for cash. You tell me with the two hands, I'm too bad. Wonder what your things are like. Need me to get your bills paid. That's what you said. I guess I'm just too fake for that. So sit down, listen, think for a minute. Know it might be hard 'cause you're uneducated. Break down, face it, breathe for a minute. I'm about to help you with your manners and respect. Second chance, so take it till we feel the man. You never listen, think too fast. But one day you'll understand. So sit down, listen, think for a minute. Know it might be hard 'cause you're uneducated. Break down, face it, breathe for a minute. I'm about to help you with your manners and respect. You get it? Just uneducated, just a little bit. But this so but you make it. One day,
Hey there, everybody.
respect.
Good morning. What's happening? I see ya. And I had to turn this music down before it gets too loud. Hi, happy Tuesday on the show. You can hear me too, right? Yes, I guess that little thing's bouncing back and forth. So that means you can hear me. Hello, welcome to the show. It's Tuesday, and I'm going to shorten this part because, I got to get the show started and because I'm late. So that's just how it is. We're going to talk about Ana Navarro. I made a little video about her already, but there's more. There's more to talk about that and the black face, brown faces of white supremacy. As I've learned, black and brown people can be racist. I've been told for the longest time only white people can be racist, but apparently so can black and brown people. So we're going to talk about that, a whole bunch of other stuff. I see Gun Fox is trying to break my brain with a couple articles. We'll talk about those too. As soon as we start the show, Johnny, play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P. Dog Knight.
Yes, that is me. And here comes my face. Besides the ones that are blinking, stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P. Dog Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the P. Dog Knight channel, where it is Tuesday, the 9th of May, 2023. 3, and Gunfox is trying to destroy me here. What are you doing? What's this one now? So Gunfox has been very busy this morning. By the way, Gunfox61, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you for sponsoring the show 3 times already, dropping 3 Hamiltons in the tip jar. And it helps a lot because Lady Boomer and I are going to take a trip over Memorial Day weekend. We're going to drive to the UP of Michigan. We're going to go to the Upper Peninsula. We're going to go to Mackinac City and Mackinac Island. One of my college buddies I ran into her, the Drake Greeley, said, yeah, he and his wife, they travel around on their motorcycle and they always go to Mackinac City over Memorial Day. Did I say Labor Day? I meant Memorial Day. And so I said, we like to do that kind of stuff too, where we just drive around and see new things. And I've never been there. So we're like, okay, let's go. So we're going to hit 3 of the Great Lakes in one day when we get up there. I know it's Mackinac, but is the island called Mackinac or Mackinac? Because Mackinac is spelled with the N-A-W, but the Mackinac, is that also Mackinac? Because Mackinac City is spelled with the A-W, but Mackinac Island is spelled with the A-C. I don't know. You know what I mean. What's that song that has that in there? And the motherfucking wagon is coming down the line. Please let it be for me. Yeah. And my mother got some great fruit from Tampa. No, it's I got what is that? Great Mac and whatever Mackinac is. I don't know. Anyway, who cares? Welcome to the show. I am happy you're here. Let's say hi to everybody and get it started because I like I said, I know that I'm late. I know, but what I do now, I'm not rushing myself anymore. And I get better quality articles. I used to just rush and just click a bunch of things and not even take a glance at them without knowing anything about them. And I've decided not to do that anymore. I'm going to give you quality show by knowing what the hell I'm talking about. Although reacting to things is kind of fun too. But anyway, here we go. Good morning first on Rumble, over on the Rumble side of the ledger. Avocados Diablo gets the bell being here first. Nice to see you. Good morning also to... Oh, wait a minute. Also, good morning to Jimmy Das Hotep and good morning to Alexander, Green Badger, and Mike Savage, Blarg on Rumble. Thank you for jumping over there. On YouTube, first in the chat, also Avocados Diablo, because he's just quick with the clicker thing, the mouse or whatever, or his fingers, or however he does it. Somehow he beats everybody here, and I got to give him credit for it. Also, good morning, Gunfox61, the brain breaker extraordinaire. Drop 3 articles, 3 Hamiltons. If you want to drop an article and you want my attention, add some green to it, and I will see. I have a what do you call it? I have a refractory disability that allows me to see green better than everything else. I appreciate that. No, I'm just playing. I do appreciate you very much sponsoring the show and doing that. That's very nice of you. Also, good morning. Trippy Liberties in the house. Sheograph's here. Good morning. Special Can Acid. Tyler F. Somnambul Nation. My favorite Canadian. Jaeger Ponies in the house. Sarah's in the house. Good morning. Also, Mike Savage. Blarg. As I scroll down, I also see Lord Stanhope. What's happening? Jay Pylon's here. Good morning also to Jimmy Das Hotep. I said Gunfox. Simon Wolfwood. Dr. Funkenstein's Ghost, a.k.a. Ty Alexander, on both sides of the ledger. Mr. Rotten Corpse is here. Chicago Mike. We're going to talk about Chicago today a little bit too. Also, JB's in the house. I said Sarah already. Have I gotten to, is that everybody so far? Like everyone's, anyone else? Fake news experts here. Good morning. And I just reached the bottom to see Kessler. So there we go. I have a fresh cup of the Morning Night Live coffee, the reparations coffee. Okay, question. You know my little header here with the Last Supper with various characters from the internet and news. Should I make that a merch thing? Would anyone be interested? I'll leave the happy 1,000 out there, but I have the cup here with it, and it's the header of my YouTube channel and also my Twitter stuff. Hello, Anna Lynn, by the way. I could make t-shirts, I could make hats. Well, maybe not hats. I don't think that'd make a good hat. It'd make a great t-shirt though, the Last Supper with the different characters on it. Now, someone on the internet the other day, when when you have stuff on Twitter, right? There are people on Twitter who sometimes will look at your profile after they get in arguments with you, because a lot of people argue with me on Twitter, or try to pretend like I don't know what I'm talking about, and that I'm stupid, or that my opinions are not worthy of their lofty intellect and whatever. So they happen to look at my profile, and every once in a while, not often, but every once in a while, good morning, Zombie Teddy, how you doing? I said Annalyn. Every once in a while, someone will make a comment like, "Oh, look at this picture. This guy thinks he's Jesus." Because my daughter made this beautiful Last Supper thing with Rakita Laws on here, and Dr. Fauci and Canahotep and Hotep Jesus and Elon Musk and Zuby. I'm not telling anymore because no one's gotten all of them yet, but the ones that everyone's gotten are pretty easy. So I'm saying those. Oh, Zuby's easy to tell. Everyone's gotten Zuby too. Anyway, that's who's on the cup. And they say, "Oh, you think this guy thinks he's Jesus?" And I'm like, no, I'm just proud of my daughter who made this really cool piece of artwork. You know what I mean? And so I just it's like, if someone makes, because I didn't ask her to. This was a surprise for my 1000th episode, and I'm like, that was the coolest thing, and I am very proud of it, and I have no problem putting it on here, even though it puts me in the spot of Jesus. I am not Jesus. Let's just make this very perfectly clear. I am not Jesus. Okay, got it. I should make that into a short. Oh, speaking of shorts, someone made a good clip for me. Not for me, of my show. And I wanted to, and I want to encourage people to do that more often, because I'm going to actually take that clip, because I don't know, I don't always know what the best things I say. If you're one of those people who does that kind of stuff, and you see clips during the show that make a good clip that I can make into like a short, let me know, because I don't always know. Oh, stop it, Jimmy Tasso. No, I am not Jesus. Okay, if you get a clip of my show, like just a 1 minute section or even whatever, because let me find this one, because I should have done this earlier. Someone took a clip for my show. It was I keep forgetting who Smo Po Benefer is. It's someone who watches the show. But they pulled this clip off my show. And let me do it for you. And I thought it was a pretty good clip. But I'm like, oh, I should make that into a short. But I never think about it. I don't always go back and watch my show. But here's the clip. Hang on a second. Oh, shoot. I can't do it because I have to do this first, because I'm not always on top of it when I get here late. Let me see. Where did I go here? Let's go. Let's click that. And there we go. Okay, so this clip was pretty good, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even think of clipping that. Here's the clip. As soon as I make a couple adjustments here, there's that. Oh, shrapnel. If Jesus was 100 pounds heavier and a foot taller, yeah, you're right. Okay, I think you're right. Jesus, I'm sure, wasn't 6'4", 296. So you're probably right. Okay. Okay. You're right. Definitely not. Okay. I'm built like an NFL lineman. Jesus was not an NFL lineman. Okay. I got you. You got me. All right. Here's the clip that I thought was well done, of at least pulling the essence of what I'm all about. And let me play it for you here. What the hell? What's going on here? Oh, I see. There we go. Is that it? Oh, it's because that's me. I'm used to seeing me on the monitor, but not as part of a clip. Okay, here's the clip that they did. I thought it was pretty good. Here we go. We have a problem in Texas that's happening right now. Is this, by the way, they did speed it up. But this is a good clip. Here we go. No, it's not, but it's a current thing out there. We have a huge line of white supremacists trying to get in the country. It's just as far as the eye can see, white supremacists trying to enter our country. Why are we letting all these white supremacists in the country? I don't get it. Good morning, unacceptable views. How you doing? Also, good morning. Those ain't real, dude. See, ladies, all these white supremacists trying to enter the United States of America. I don't understand it. Maybe, it's funny. I think maybe if we could let Joe Biden know that all these people are white supremacists, he might try better to close the border. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I mean, this white supremacist with a Laker jersey on. What are they giving them? They're giving them bags of something. I don't even know what this is. Anyway, so I just thought we'd got to make you aware of that. That person brought a garbage can. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Okay, so anyway, good clip. Okay, nice job pulling a clip, because I don't always know what the best, between, and they don't even have to be that long. They can be 10 seconds, anywhere from 10 seconds to a minute long. If you find clips, you can clip them, you can tweet them, and I'll steal them from you, even though they're clips of me, and I will put them back on the internet again. But that is I thought, as I saw that, I'm like, that was actually pretty funny. I didn't realize I was funny sometimes. So there we go. And don't stop it. Hello, Next Gen Troll. Good morning. Nice to see you. So anyway, that was that. Let me get into some of the news here, because I'm running out of time already. So a couple things trending. I'm going to clip the I am Jesus part. No, I am not Jesus. I am not Jesus. I promise. I will, I probably will clip that one myself now that I know that I did that. So anyway, let's get into some stuff that's happening in the world. First, though, let me thank a few people. Thank you to Jimmy Das Hotep, Simon Wolfwood, Somnambule Nation, tweeting out the show. Somnambule did it on her own and retweeted my tweet of the show. I don't know why I would say that. There should be only 2 tweets in that sense. But anyway, thank you for doing that. And just a reminder, the Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please share the show with, friends, loved ones, and people you hate on the internet. And then also hit the like button sometime during the show. And if you want to sponsor the show, like Gunfox61, who is current superstar sponsor of the day, PDogNight.live, that's where you become the superstar sponsor of the day, if you're the largest donor of the day. And or super chats and Rumble rants are cool too. I still haven't figured out how to get the money out of the Rumble rants. I've tried. I've even sent them questions to the Rumble people, and I don't know, they ignore me. But I'll figure that out, and I promise you, I appreciate those who do any of the above. There's also Venmo and Cash App information in the description below if you prefer to do that. So thank you for everyone who sponsors the show, whatever way you do it. Any way you can help me promote the show or help me pay for this trip to Michigan is accepted. So thank you very much. All right, let's get into some of the things trending. Glenn Greenwald, the journalist, is trending this morning, and not for a good reason. Unfortunately, his husband, which is, I know it sounds weird because anyway, I'm not going to go there. His husband passed away, and it's very sad. And I don't give a shit that Glenn Greenwald is married to another man. I don't care. I mean, me. My thoughts on gay marriage do not make me dismiss other people's feelings, and so I don't care. Even though it's, to me, it's an oxymoron. Hello, Johnny Hellcat, the original viewer of the Morning Night Live in the chat. But I wanted to read a part of this thread just because it's a very good, nice tribute to, the man he spent his time with. It is with the most profound sadness that I announce the passing away of my husband, David Mirando. He would have turned 38 tomorrow. His death early this morning came after a 9-month battle in the ICU. He died in full peace, surrounded by our children, family, and friends. David's life was extraordinary in all ways. His mother died when he was 5, leaving him an orphan in Gino. I think that's how it's pronounced. But a beautiful and compassionate neighbor, Donna Elian, took him in despite 4 children of her own and in deep poverty, became his mom, gave him a chance for life. That gave David the chance to live his full potential in a society that often suffocates it. He was key to the Snowden story. Remember Edward Snowden? Became the first gay man elected to Rio City Council, then federal Congress at age 32. He inspired so many with his biography, passion, and force of life. Because of how David grew up, there was always many assumptions made by those who didn't know him. Anyone who did will tell you there was nobody with a stronger will or life force. He was proud of what he was named, that he was named by Time our next, wait a minute. He was proud that he was named by Time magazine, our next generation's leaders. And they have a link to that. But by far, David's biggest dream and what gave him the greatest pride and purpose was being a father. He was the most dedicated and loving parent. He taught me how to be a father. Our truly exceptional boys with their own difficult start to life is his greatest legacy. So it goes on. It's just a nice tribute to him. I'll leave it in the link. And, you know, Glenn Greenwald, I don't always agree with him, but I think he's one of the more honest journalists out there. And so I tribute him by reading some of the tribute that he had to his husband. You don't know who Glenn Greenwald is. He's a journalist. Rest in peace, Mrs. Greenwald. Yeah. He's Glenn Greenwald's a pretty, now he's a freelance journalist. He was one of the original people who started, was it Vice? And then they kicked him out because they didn't like the stories he was writing. I think it was Vice. I can't remember if that was it. But they kicked it. No, it wasn't Vice. Who knows what, who knows? What was the outlet that he started and they kicked him out last year because they didn't like how some things he was writing about, because they were, they didn't fit the progressive narrative. And he's like, well, fuck yeah, I'm leaving. Fine. I don't care. I'll start my own shit. Anyway, I'm a fan of Glenn Greenwald's writing, and even when I don't agree with him. Okay. Next on the list is, it is Teacher Appreciation Week. Yay. Okay. Don't get too excited. It's Teacher Appreciation Week. Polite clap. Hello, Swirly. How you doing? The Intercept. Yes, he was the founder of The Intercept. And the powers that be at The Intercept kicked him out because I think he wrote something that was slightly sympathetic to Trump. And then he also might have said some things about Stupid 19. I can't remember. But he got kicked out. Anyway, Teacher Appreciation Week. Jill Biden tweeted something for Teacher Appreciation Week. Says, this Teacher Appreciation Week, those who visit the White House will be able to read heartfelt thank you notes to teachers from parents and students across the country. Well, why are they sending the damn thank yous to the White House? Because Dr. Jill Biden is a teacher. Anyway, I hope my fellow teachers know they are loved and appreciated. Look, there's nothing more valuable than a good teacher as far as, if you're a parent, right? My only concern is, it seems like teaching has become a profession that tries to tell you what to think now, and indoctrination. So I appreciate good teachers who don't do that. They just try to get people curious about the world and get curious about learning and teaching kids how to think, not what to think. So, I mean, I certainly could appreciate Teacher Appreciation Week, not the teachers' unions, though. Fuck them. Okay. So anyway, other people, Teacher Appreciation Week at my Spirit Week at my school. Shout out to all the educators. Thank you for all that you do. There's probably a lot of tributes to teachers. Here is, what is this? ABC News, in honor of Teacher Appreciation Week, Good Morning America is honoring educators, including educators like Mike Peterson, a custodian turned substitute at Plymouth Middle School in Plymouth, Minnesota. Oh, that's close to home. That's kind of cool. Anyway, lots of people thanking teachers today. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. Next on the list is Texas is trending this morning. Actually, I'm sorry, not Texas. Chicago is trending this morning for a few reasons. And one of them is because Texas Governor Mike Abbott. What is it? Mike Abbott? What's Abbott's first name? Glenn Abbott? What the hell's Texas Governor's first name? Anyway, Texas Governor Abbott is apparently going to begin busing more illegal migrants to sanctuary cities like New York City and Chicago. So here's him making that announcement. Whoa, neat MILF Preacher Teacher Volume 4. That's interesting. That's a interesting title. Greg Abbott. There you go. Greg Abbott. So here's him making this announcement that has lots of people just pissed off.
So let's be clear about what's happened on the border. Texas has the ability to secure the border ourselves. If we were acting in isolation, we would have secured the border. While Texas is doing everything possible to try to stop people from crossing the border, at the very same time, the President of the United States is putting out the Welcome Act, welcoming them in.
True.
The cartels know it's the federal government that controls the immigration process. The cartels are working in collaboration with President Biden and the federal government to facilitate that illegal cross-border.
Yes, you're right, Sarah. You're right. He made a mistake. They're not illegal immigrants. They're white supremacists. We have a white supremacist crisis at the border. Anyway,
we are being overrun by our own federal government. Texas is being undermined by our own federal government.
So send their asses up to the sanctuary cities.
Only Joe Biden and his open border policies has hindered our ability to secure the border.
All right, so that's Texas Governor Greg Abbott, kind of giving the rationale. And so they're gonna start sending more buses to the sanctuary cities. Now, that certainly. I remember Lori Lightfoot was saying something about. Why are they sending them here? This is not fair, blah, 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 blah. Well, if you look at some of the cities in Texas that are overrun by these, unfortunately, all these people coming into Texas, they got to send them somewhere. It's funny because the federal government was sending a bunch of them to Florida, too. So while Governor Abbott was sending them to Chicago and New York City, San Francisco, the Biden administration was sending them to Florida, to Ron DeSantis territory. And so then I know some of these states are sending them to Washington, D.C. now. They're sending them a lot of different places because they're overrun. What do they do? I mean, you say, these sanctuary cities can't handle them. Or sanctuary cities can't handle them. Well, what about the not sanctuary cities in Texas that are being overrun? Anyway, other reason Chicago is trending those because Lori Lightfoot, again, is making excuses why she lost to someone who is, I would say, to the left of her. Don't let's say Lightfoot 3 times. Oh no! Be careful. You got to be careful. So here's a little clip. I don't know which is this. Newsmax? It must be Newsmax. I don't know. I don't really watch any broadcast news, so to speak. I see clips of broadcast news, but I rarely watch any. So here's Lori Lightfoot explaining why she lost. There's no longer going to be the mayor of Chicago shortly. I guess apparently their term doesn't start right after the election. She's still in office, but she's about to be she is the outgoing mayor of Chicago. Okay, former Mayor Lightfoot is going to explain it.
On her way out, Lightfoot speaking with fellow race baiter Al Sharpton, explaining why she
whose fault is it that she lost?
There's a reason why in 2020 part of Trump's national strategy was to go after
Trump's national strategy.
Mayors like me by name.
So wait a minute. So Trump's national strategy to go after mayors by name. She lost to a more radical black man. The people should listen to this. Hold up. Wait a minute. The election for Lori Lightfoot was in the city of Chicago, right? How many people in the city of Chicago give a damn what Donald Trump says? Help me understand this. Who of these people in Chicago are making mayoral choices in Chicago based on what Donald Trump says? And I get it. Chicago is mega country. We've saw that during the Jesse Smollett thing. Chicago is mega country, but this is I don't know that they still only got maybe 5% of the vote in Chicago, right? Even though it is mega country. Hello, Tex AG, below set Evan. And also, thanks Jimmy Das Hotep, dropping a big bullet tip jar, says, send these illegals home. The point was made. The GOP is sending illegals to places They refuse to send the GOP. Unfortunately, the politicians don't care, and communities that don't want illegals are being hurt, which while actively ignored by the GOP outreach. You are 100% spot on there, Jimmy Hotep. I know this is like, and thank you. I didn't even thought of it that way until I read that. The GOP sent it to Chicago. Find a way to deport them. But see, I think that's even harder than sending them to Chicago. And yeah, you are hurting communities, and rather than going into those communities and trying to get people to vote, who knows? Maybe it's a 2-tier strategy: flood places with illegals and then try to get them to vote. But there's people in Chicago complaining that they don't want. They're especially in some of these less affluent areas where they end up. It's like they're giving housing and they're giving all this shit to these illegal aliens, and the people who live there are like, what the hell is this? These people, we've been here. We've been here. Use your resources here, because the city of Chicago is like, oh, welcome with open arms, even though we're gonna find ways to make it better for you. We'll make ways to make it better in the hood, and maybe people stop shooting each other. So good point, Jimmy Hotep. Yes, Jimmy Hotep. All right. Anyway, let's see what else Beetlejuice says here.
Those that were blown in 2020 are still resonating.
They're still resonating. Yes, that's why they
was fed by the uncertainty and the anger, and then funded by right-wing forces that wanted to take down a big city mayor.
Oh, good Lord. You... Yes, it's the right-wing forces that took down Lori Lightfoot. The right-wing forces in Chicago. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. What's next here? More Chicago. One more Chicago here. So now the city of Chicago, rather than using law enforcement or whatever to try to prevent some of the mayhem that constantly goes on there, or that has been going on. For example, the recent youths who decided to have a frolicking day in the city of Chicago, and while they were frolicking, they just happened to break a bunch of shit and steal from stores and shit and beat people up. But anyway, Chicago Police Department tells businesses to buy riot glass product to prevent burglaries. This is fantastic. Remember, the Chicago mayor was saying, don't demonize Utes, the new Chicago mayor, right? Wait, let's see. I didn't even watch this. This is 3 minutes long. Let's just watch this. Yes, see, the Utes are just having a party. It's like it's like prom night.
Saturday night in downtown Chicago, going well into early
That's the
Sunday
Utes.
morning.
Hello, Hotep. Can't Hotep's in the house.
Downtown. They smashed a lot of car windows. They tried to get into Millennium Park. A major police response. At least one person in a car was brutally attacked.
Okay, well,
and the fallout now is, well, as you might expect, a lot of people already forgetting about what happened and moving on. Gianna Caldwell, not surprised. The Out Loud with Gianna Caldwell. So much more on these latest developments in a city he knows well, and tragically lost his brother almost a year ago. Gianno, here we go again, but this was off the charts craziness.
Okay, I think this is just about that event. But here, let's go back to the article here. The Chicago Police Department advised businesses in one area of the city, one area of the city? Like, why only one area? Why not? Anyway, Cannibalistic Wizard, how you doing? To purchase a special kind of glass shield in order to prevent burglaries. In a community alert sent out after a string of burglaries in Chicago's Wicker Park and Humboldt Park, police recommended businesses use Armor Plast, that is a brand name, a type of invisible shatterproof shield produced by a company called Riot Glass that is installed over existing glass to protect themselves, according to CBS News. On Monday, the advice came after a string of burglaries in the area, with Chicago police noting that most of the burglaries showed similar characteristics. According to the alert, thieves typically break in from the side or front glass windows using rocks, bricks, or a crowbar, then enter the business to steal money and other items such as liquor. The devil's liquor. That's Anyway, you ever see what's the movie Under the Cherry Moon, when Prince writes out LIKKA S-T-O-W. And he asked the girl, what does that spell? And she's like, licka stow. She didn't understand what it meant. And he said, okay, well, I'm going to use it in a sentence. It was Rekasto. It's not Lickasto. Rekasto. Rekasto. And okay, I'll use it in a sentence. I go to the Rekasto to buy a Sam Cooke album. Which is a funny joke. Yeah, it was Rekasto, not Lickasto. Well, anyway, Lickasto works too. Anyway, according to Chicago Police Department data, burglaries in the city are on pace to reach 2,253 this year, which represents a 6% increase over 2022 numbers. The rise of what some have called smash and grabs have employees and businesses throughout the city on edge, with some reporting being the target of multiple burglaries in recent months. Yeah, especially if you sell good shit. Usually people fear for their lives too. Like I have 7 kids. Tamer Jaradat, an employee of West Food and Grocery, told CBS News, if it takes me having to protect my life or business, I'm going to do it. Oh, you mean with like a weapon or something? Because, maybe you need to do that. Anyway, Jaradat said the business has been hit multiple times in recent memory, including one instance where the thief stole the entire ATM from the building. 3 months ago, they broke in. They stole my ATM machine. Jesus Christ. However, police responses times are now slower, meaning employees often have to fend for themselves in an emergency. So get some special riot-proof glass in Chicago, in the pretty much everywhere right now, because in Wicker Park in particular, if you're in the Wicker Park or Humboldt Park area. Thank you, Chicago Mike, dropping a big bull in the tip jar. Thank you very much. Who says new TV series ideas. Right-wing forces. It's like the A-Team meets the Dirty Dozen, but fighting the stupid left like Mayor Beetlejuice. Oh, that's fucking fantastic. Thank you, Chicago Mike. Appreciate it. All right, continuing on. Should we go ahead and... Well, let's do Gun Fox's articles first, and then I'll get into the main topic of the day, if I can find where that is. Okay, I'll skip California for now. We'll put that at the end if I have time. Gun Fox has dropped a couple of artists in the tip jar, and I faithfully pulled them out. The first one is... Wait a minute, what the hell is this? Oh, these are articles from places that that try to make my head explode. Which one's this? This is Fox. Well, before I do that, though, thank you, Ty Alexander. Appreciate it. Dropping a small bullet in the tip jar. Says, warn me if you're going to show Frampt from Dark Souls. Her visage is so hideous, I almost lost my breakfast. Well, I'm sorry. Take a little Pepto-Bismol. You'll be okay. Maybe the black citizens of Chicago will learn that they are in the slaughter phase while the Mexicans are being fattened up by the Dems. Oh, that's a little... That's a little hideous. Thank you, Ty Alexander, for sponsoring the show again. All right, let's do a couple Gun Fox articles, which I don't promise that my head won't explode, and that'll be a little more gory than anything. And then I'll go to the main topic of the day. This is a Vox article. So here's the thing. A lot of talk about guns right now, because it's apparently I don't know if it's Democrats just prepping up for the next election, but we're hearing about every single gun incident in the United States. Now, granted, right now, we're at a record pace over last year for the most, what they call gun violence, which I call people violence, people killing people and finding new ways to do it, or old ways to do it. But again, rifles, like the scary black rifles that they keep talking about, still don't even come near to the number of deaths caused by knives or people just beating each other to death. But let's check this Vox article, because they're saying that mental illness is not responsible for America's gun crisis. Really? Because I know that people have hello Hig, by the way, guns are my religion. There you go. Because we've always had guns, but we certainly haven't had the kind of the stress test and different things that are happening today that we had, even 20 years ago. There weren't this many guns deaths. So anyway, Texas Governor Greg Abbott wants more mental health resources after the Allen Mall mass shooting. it's not a real solution. Okay, let's see where they go with this. Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott is calling for more resources for mental health following a mass shooting at an outlet mall in Allen, Texas on Saturday, in which gunmen killed at least 8 people. Wait, let me go back, okay? The title is Mental Health is Not Responsible for Gun Crisis. I would say it kind of is, because there seems to be a lack of, well, I don't know if it's mental health or it's just what society allows and doesn't allow right now. And there seems to be a really just lack of interest in caring about human life. Unless, unless certain factors are involved and if it can be exploited. So this is one of those cases. What Texas is doing in a big time way, we are working to address that anger and violence, but going to its root cause was addressing the mental health problems behind it. Abbott said during an interview in Fox News Sunday, people want a quick solution. The long-term solution here is to address the mental health issues. That'd be a start. I mean, and also the entitlement that people have. A lot of people just, for whatever reason, we have a new kind of sense of where everyone deserves something, is owed something. And if you don't get it, violence can be a solution to why you're not, to your issue. And this is kind of a heavy extension of that. It's a weird societal thing that we're doing right now that seems to be across the board. I even try to look at what's happening, in my life and around people around me. And yeah, people are so entitled and don't like to be told no. And it's like, it's just weird. Anyway, it's one of many times since Abbott took office, that the Republican governor and his party have invoked mental health issues as a root cause of mass shootings in the state, including last year's shooting at an elementary school in Uvalde, the 2019 El Paso Walmart shooting, the 2019 Midland Odessa shooting, the 2018 Santa Fe High School shooting, and the 2017 First Baptist Church shooting. President Joe Biden, on the other hand, has reiterated his calls on study for more federal gun control, including legislation banning assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, enacting universal background checks, requiring safe storage of guns, and ending immunity for gun manufacturers. No. Again, this is the idea that they're going to have liability to gun manufacturers for a product that is built for what it's built for, and you can't. That's dangerous, if you ask me. But anyway, though the Texas legislature has allocated more than $1.5 billion towards mental health services in the last few years, those services remain inaccessible to many in Texas, which faces a critical shortage of mental health professionals. Well, it's funny because you keep flooding the state with people that, from other places. You're gonna have a critical shortage of all services pretty soon. What's more, it's not clear that addressing the state's mental health crisis will have any meaningful impact on preventing gun violence. The fact that people get illegal weapons ain't going to stop much either. It shows okay. Given that the large body of research shows that most individuals with serious mental health issues never become violent. Well, that's an interesting way to put it. That how many people do you need to make one incident? You need one. So most don't, but many do. Is that what? It's okay. You don't need that many. Look, there's 400 million guns in the United States, and most gun owners are upstanding citizens and don't ever kill anybody. So that's a dumb argument. Anyway, many states are struggling to meet the demand for mental health resources in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic, but Texas is faring worse than most. About 37% of Texas adults reported symptoms of anxiety or depressive disorder, compared to the national average of about 32% in a February 2023 U.S. Census Bureau survey. How would they even know? that you would need a mental health service to report those symptoms, would you? You can't just self-diagnose. Hello, Brent Hayes. What's up? Texas had also fallen behind other states in terms of access to mental health care. Mental Health America, a nonprofit advocacy group. I wonder what they're an advocacy group for. And who are they? An ideological advocacy group, or they actually just do research? They found that Texas had the worst access to mental health services overall. Well, that's why Governor Abbott's talking about it then, isn't it? I mean, you're saying that they have the worst access to mental health. So Governor Abbott says that we need more access to, or, more better mental health services, and they're trying to put money toward it. And you're telling them that he's wrong because he's taking up an issue that you just said is a problem. That okay. As of 2023, 98% of the state's 254 counties were at least partially designated as mental health professional shortage areas by the federal government. Yeah, the federal government's always perfectly accurate on everything. But even so, isn't that what he's saying? Isn't that what Governor Abbott's saying too? That they want to, shore that up a little bit. Another February survey by the Episcopal Health Foundation, a Texas-based public health nonprofit, found that more than half of Texans say that increasing funding for mental health programs should be the state's top health care priority. More than a quarter reported that a member of their household had trouble accessing mental health care because of the cost, the highest share that the organization has ever reported in 5 years conducting the poll. The Texas legislature is taking steps to address the state's mental health crisis with a $34 million bipartisan package to fund mental health services, especially for minors. That bill, which passed the state Senate last month and is expected to become law, is a significant step, but might not be enough to address the historical funding shortfalls. You're contradicting yourself all over this article. Okay? So that's what they're trying to do. What? I'm sorry, what's the problem here? Though the governor promised to fund mental health services following the Uvalde shooting, last year he diverted $211 million from the department that oversees health services, more than from any other state agency, to fund his border enforcement program. Oh, gosh. The new bill won't even come close to making up for that diversion. Then they go into why gun rights advocates talk about mental health over gun control. Gun rights advocates have long pushed the narrative that mental health issues, rather than guns, are the root cause of the violence. No, shitty people are the root cause of the violence. We've had the guns forever. They have a gun in every household in Switzerland, but don't have the same problems. Someone the other day, I was reading someone this morning trying to compare Japan to the United States. Well, in Japan, they have video games, they have, trans people, they have this, they have that, they have whatever. Japan has a completely different culture. And she's trying to say, well, because they don't have guns, they don't have, mass shootings. Well, they also don't have murders on the same scale. They also don't have people stealing shit at the same scale. They don't have a lot of different things. They also have women respect men there. We don't have that. There's a whole lot of things different about Japan than the United States. You can have a store in Japan that's strictly automated and people will not steal from your store. You can have it at a store that just basically you have products, you have a little thing, ATM, you swipe the card and you walk out with your products, and people don't steal from them there because they're a completely different culture. Here, if you try to do that, your store would be empty the next day. You ever hear about those places that the pay what you can afford restaurant? There was a restaurant that said you can pay what you can afford to eat in a restaurant. They were gone in 6 months. So anyway, does Japan have mass stabbings? The ex-prime minister of Japan was wasted with zip. Yeah, they have gun violence. No mass shootings. Well, it's a completely different fucking culture. Hello, Aaron Meredith. What's up? So anyway, but both former President Donald Trump and former Vice President Mike Pence repeated that the claim that the National Rifle Association annual meeting last month. This is not a gun problem, Trump said. It's a mental health problem. It's a social problem. This is a cultural problem. This is a spiritual problem. 100% right. Guns don't kill people. People kill people with whatever tool they can find. Hello, Tales of Gore. But that just doesn't seem to be borne out by the research. A 2016 literature review by the American Psychiatric Association found that mass shooters with serious mental health issues account for less than 1% of the annual gun-related homicides. Okay, hold up. Do you see what they did there? Did you see what they did there? That mass shooters with serious mental health account for less than 1% of annual gun homicides. Think about that sentence for a second and tell me what's wrong with it. Well, I'm just going to tell you myself. Mass shooters account for less than 1% of annual gun-related homicides. Mass shooters account for less than 1% of annual gun-related homicides. Now, I'm using a very more narrow definition of mass shooters, and especially the ones with the AR-15s. See, rifles are a small fraction of all gun homicides. Now, some gun homicides are also suicides, but you know what I mean? That's called lying with statistics. It also found that only about 3% of violent crimes and even a smaller share of those involving a firearm are committed by individuals with serious mental health issues. Okay, you're right. Because most people who commit violent crimes or whatever they said here, most of them probably aren't mental ill. Most of them are just assholes. So there you go. That's good. That's good to know. Blaming Americans' gun violence epidemics on mental health issues, as Republicans have done, obscures the much stronger link between gun ownership and gun death. That's false! One 2013 Boston University-led study, for instance, found that for each percentage point increase in gun ownership at the household level, the state firearm homicide rate increased by 0.9%. More guns are purchased in Texas than any other state. It also has a higher than average number of gun deaths. Oh my God. Are they including all the ones that are self-endings? I'm just curious. Because they love to use statistics in the most just bullshit ways. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm running out of time here. Anyway, you get the point. Okay, that's almost the end of the article. Gunfox, you successfully sidetracked me. Next article, I'll do this one quickly, and then I want to talk about Ana Navarro before we go, and I'll just go longer than I'm supposed to. Oh, this is the Readout blog. Okay, Joy Reid's blog. Whoever wrote this one, apparently he's upset that this one's. Trump unleashes unhinged tirade attacking his rape accuser. This is by Jahan Jones. E. Jean Carroll, the writer accusing former President Donald Trump of rape and defamation. No, she's not. No. That's inaccurate already. That's not what he's accusing of her. That's what the charges are in the case. Battery, but rape is what she says she did. And defamation has made no bones about the fact that Trump's stature as a political figure is part of the reason she filed a lawsuit against him. Yeah, she wants to damage Trump. That's why she filed the case. There's no other reason. Because at least her original description we've talked about in the show. It seems like a fantasy that's not physically possible. But, maybe she misremembered something or she's just full of shit. One of the two, either of the two could be correct. Carol only elected to sue Trump after his insulting public denials in which he not only claimed Carol was lying, but also suggested he wouldn't have raped her because she is not his type. No. That he would not have been interested in her because he's not his type. Anyway, Trump's power and influence are obvious, arguably essential pieces of evidence in support of Carol's claims that his statements harmed her. Why? She's a public figure making a claim about Donald Trump, and in this case, he denies her claim. How is that defamation? You made a very public claim about a very public figure, and that public figure denied the claim. How's that defamation? The side saying that he's not her type, that's not defamation. Oh, so she's demanding that she is his type? Is that what she's demanding? I don't get it. And the jury's going to come back with they're going to come back with a judgment in favor of E. Jean Carroll. I guarantee it. There's no way they're not, because it's a New York jury. This is just some bullshit, okay? Anyway, but in a tirade Thursday in Ireland, Trump seemed to suggest his perceived stature and political power are precisely what should insulate him from the grape and defamation trial not underway. Here are Trump's remarks from reporters. Trump, I have to leave Ireland. I have to leave Scotland, where I have great properties. I have to leave early. I don't have to, but I choose to. Will you attend the trial, Mr. President? I'll probably attend. I think it's a disgrace. The clip then jumps to this part of the exchange. Quote, it's a disgrace that it's allowed to happen. It's called false accusations against a rich guy. And in my case, against a famous rich political person that's leading the polls by 40 points, and I have to go back for a woman who made a false accusation about me. And I have a judge who's extremely hostile. I'm going to go back and I'm going to confront this. This woman is a disgrace, and it shouldn't be allowed to happen in our country. Okay. Okay. And that's his opinion. Is he allowed to have that opinion? See, what's funny is, all these people who write about this assume, or just they know in their dying little black hearts, that everything Jean Carroll said is true and everything Donald Trump says is false. So it's even worse, right? How about if you're neutral? What is it about that statement that is so bad? And if he thinks the judge is against him, so what? Now, I say don't mess with the judges, but still, he does. He doesn't care. Rarely will you find a clearer distillation of a person's perceived privilege than this. Oh, that sometimes people make false accusations against the people who have big pockets so they can have a settlement or something. Does that sound so weird? Does it sound so improbable? And especially a political figure that many people loathe, and as a political figure, this person probably loathes. Oh no, there's never politics. There's never ever false accusations against big star, right, Johnny Depp? Oh, and wait a minute. Coming from the man who claimed that women are fine with unrequested fondling when you're a star, this is on brand, and it implicitly supports the claim from Carroll and others who have accused Trump of sexual misconduct that he felt entitled because of who he was. Trump has repeatedly made the... I'm sorry, what? Well, how does that... Did you read that into this? I'm done. Thanks, Gunfox. Thanks. You just make it. Oh, yes. It's just a given that she absolutely is not a crackpot. Absolutely not. All right. Now let me get in the main topic. I'll spend some time on this and we'll get the hell out of here. So, as we noticed yesterday with this incident in Allen, Texas, right? When the brown-faced white supremacists that we laughed about yesterday. Well, there's some updates, and some people have been talking about this over the last couple of days, and so we'll give you a hint of a few of them. Andy No has a thread called "The Brown Face of White Supremacy," which I find a humorous thing, but apparently there are actually Mexican neo-Nazi groups, so I guess I can't complete... I learned this yesterday. I'm like, really? There's Mexican neo-Nazi groups? I did not know that. And there's also a lot of the cartels, like there's certain factors of the different gangs and whatever, You can save the other one for tomorrow. Oh, that's right. There's a third one. Oh, is that this? Oh God, this CBS News one. I will do that. Thank you, Gun Fox. So anyway, people have been digging around the internet, trying to find things out about this Hispanic, Latino, neo-Nazi, white supremacist who is brown but still white supremacist. The brown face of white supremacy. The left is Bellingcat. This is a Bellingcat media outlet. Writer has posted screenshots from purported obscure Odnoclasinica social media profile of the Allen, Texas mass shooter, Mauricio Garcia. He is trying to link the shooter to Timcast, and the most milquetoast person on the internet, and Libs of TikTok, a Jewish American. The account has photos of random Latino people wearing or posing in front of neo-Nazi symbols. Bellingcat is a government-funded site that has sourcing from intelligence agencies. It employs radical leftist writers. So here's some of the images. They had these images here of, I don't even know what these are, just showing the RWDS patch and the Texas, what's that thing? The Punisher patch or whatever. And then they, here it is, though. This is the guy, Eric Toller. The Allen shooter was apparently a Timcast fan. Wow. So Timcast, neo-Nazi Timcast, the most, everyone knows Timcast, neo-Nazi, that fucker. Tim Pool, Tim Pool. And then he puts up this symbol of these random people in front of a skull, swastika, whatever, brown people in front of that, but none of these people are the Allen shooter, okay? But he says his ideology will forever be a mystery. None of these people are the Allen shooter. He's trying to say that it is, but it's not. And then this, guess we'll never know if this guy was liberal or fascist or anything else. Oh, well, that's another one. And then calling someone a violent incel has lost a lot of meaning in the last few years with the term being overused, but yeah, it fits here. Oh, so he's an incel too. All the special buzzwords. And then he put up this thing. One last thing noticed by Jake Godin, the Allen shooter, was a big fan of Libs of TikTok. Oh, yes, it's perfect. And signed off on one of his posts with a Heil Hitler. Wait, okay. It's fun. Oh, this post was inspired by Libs of TikTok. So anyway, those are some things this guy wrote. But then people started figuring out, hey, you got a lot of pictures that have nothing to do with this guy. And obviously he blocked Andy. No, but he says, I haven't checked. And then he says, as he wrote this, I haven't checked if this is actually him in the picture. I assume he just posted it because he's a big swastika SS fan, as he has them all over the rest of his profile. Now, again, this is a profile on a social media site in Russia or whatever, and there's a lot of interesting things about it because they show pictures of a guy with like swastika tattoo and SS on his shoulder, all these tattoos, right? But they're all brand new tattoos, and it's a recent post, and it's like, wait a minute. Is this an op by the FBI or something, just posting some shit? And then they figured out that a lot of the pictures weren't even him. So anyway, I thought I'd bring that up. What's this for? Oh, this is from another article that I was going to do. Oh, that's in. Is that in this? Oh, he linked an article, I think, in here. I don't know why I did that. So anyway, I have this up twice. We'll get rid of this. I'll get rid of this. I have it twice. There we go. But then there's Ana Navarro, and I know I already made a video about this. So should I play the video or should I just play the original? Let's just play the original. The video's in the links. So Ana Navarro yesterday on The View had this moment of brilliance.
So we all have to remember that the head of the Proud Boys, his name is Enrique Tarrio. The Proud Boys is a white nationalist group.
Okay, stop. I know that a lot of the media and everyone out there is saying, the Proud Boys are white nationalists. No, they're not. Nor have they ever been so-called white nationalists. They've never been Nick Fuentes types, right? They have never been trying to build a homeland for white people because they are multi-ethnic. Enrique Tarrio, Afro-Cuban leader, right? But she's saying that they're a white nationalist group, right? Okay, so that's false. I know completely the origin of the Proud Boys, and even though I'm not a part of them, I don't care, but I understand where they came from. They came from people who were trying to protect people who were getting beat up by Antifa fuckwads, and that's how they began. Hello, Nomad. Hammer time. So that's a lie, but she doesn't know it because the media has convinced everybody that that's what they are. Anyway.
Look, being Hispanic or being black does not, or being anything, does not make you immune from being racist, from being
whoa. Now again, I ask this question because if you ask their typical dumbass, progressive, I get not all progressives are dumbasses, but the dumbass progressives or the really special kids on TikTok, they will tell you that no, only white people can be racist. Black people can't be racist. Hispanic, brown, Latino people cannot be racist. And the Asians can be racist sometimes, depending on if we're calling them white or minorities, but minorities cannot be racist. And Ana Navarro just said that black and brown and Latino people can be racist. So, and that's proof because of this guy that shot some people that most of the victims in this were white. So anyway.
Does not make you immune from being racist, from being radicalized, from being a white supremacist, from being evil, from being homicidal. And
whoa, wait a minute.
Seeing it over and over again.
Now, I kind of stepped on the last phrase. Listen to this phrase again.
Supremacists, from being evil, from being homicidal, and we are seeing it over and over again.
That last line. We're seeing it over and over again. How? How are we seeing it over and over again? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Because this is one of the rare times, they say it all the time, oh yeah, it's the evil right, they're radicalized by the right, this blah, 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 blah. This is one of the rare times that they can even say, with some tangential evidence, with some whatever weird evidence they have, that this guy was a white supremacist or whatever. They're trying to make that the issue, okay, even though he's a brown guy, Mexican guy, whatever. His parents don't even speak English. They had to have translators to talk to his parents. So clearly he's like first gen, whatever. But how, and you're saying this over and over again, but this is one of the rare times that it turns out to be the narrative that you've been trying to tell us for the last 8 years or since Trump became president, that the FBI suddenly says, oh, the most dangerous terrorist people could be the radicalized, right-wing, whatever, extremist. But this guy, I think I can't barely, maybe 1 out of 20 of these events at best turns out to be someone on the right. 19 out of 20, I'm just giving an estimate just based on what I've watched. And in fact, if you go through the what's that place that does the gun shooting list, gun violence, whatever network that puts together the list of mass shootings, it's fairly rare for any, it's like let's put it this way. There ain't a lot of MAGA people doing these shootings that they count. Just saying, because there's not a whole lot of MAGA people in the neighborhoods where these shootings happen. Just saying. They're happening in urban areas, man. And I'm not just saying black people. I'm just saying all people. It's all in the urban areas where they don't vote for MAGA people. And they don't, and also the fact that the guns used in most of these instances are also not legally bought by, they're not, and let's put it this way, none of them are NRA members. Still haven't found that NRA member who's done one of these. The people who have the pictures of the people that have like 60 guns because they're showing their gun collection. I haven't found them a whole lot of mass murderers among those people. So anyway, I'm just curious, these citizen who buys guns and they like them or whatever, they go to a range and they go hunting and whatnot, there are not a whole lot of murders among those, and that's the vast majority of the people who own guns. So I'm curious, and she says this happens over and over again with the black and brown white supremacists. Really? That's the first time I heard of this one. Anyway,
There are people, they don't see themselves as what they are.
Yeah. Oh, she's saying they don't see themselves as black or brown. They see themselves as white.
You're fucking a white male!
So anyway, her burst of brilliance, spelled bullshit. And then, let's see, where was else? There was something else. Oh, and so anyway, article in the Daily Caller about this. Ana Navarro says blacks and Hispanic are not immune from being white supremacists, which is the same thing I'm talking about, so I don't have to go through that one. And if you want to watch my video on this, it'll be in the links if you haven't seen it already.
Say yes or no.
Stop. Anyway, well, here it is. What the hell? We have some breaking news. In an amazing turn of events, white supremacists are actually one of the most diverse groups in the country. Oh, that's the other point I want to make. So, yeah, Ana Navarro basically says that there's a lot of diversity among white supremacists. Anyway, there is a hell of a lot of diversity about white supremacists. And Olivia, well, I already told you Olivia's joke yesterday. Take a listen.
We all have
all right, it's just the same thing. You can watch that video on your own. And I think that's it for today, guys. Let's see. Oh, wait, what's this? Oh, I have a few articles that I was going to try to get to. White House blocks New York Post from a reporter from a rare Biden event. So the White House blocked the New York Post from covering Monday public event with President Biden, according to the paper, and a sign the president's team is increasingly insensitive to coverage of the president's son, Hunter Biden, and could be cracking down on media access after the launch of his re-election campaign. The Post, which revealed the existence of Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop in October 2020, said White House rejected its request to attend Biden's press event discussing airline policies with Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. The decision comes as federal prosecutors are wrapping up a tax investigation into Hunter Biden, which could result in criminal charges in the coming days, which I'm sure Joe will pardon them. And the second one, the White House continues to restrict press access to Biden events and leaves empty seats. So the White House attempted to ban several reporters from gaining access to President Joe Biden's remarks on Monday. Despite there being over 20 available seats in the room, the Biden administration restricts which reporters get access to presidential events and briefings required by journalists to submit credential forms, especially when the events are held in the South Court Auditorium. The Biden White House has never answered how they decide which reporters get access to the auditorium, but staff have repeatedly argued there is limited space. The South Court Auditorium provides journalists with some of the closest proximity to Biden and gives an opportunity to shout questions at the end of the remarks. Daily Caller was initially denied a credential to Biden's remark, but was given access after inquiring. The White House simply stated at first, "We are unable to accommodate your credential request." So anyway, they're restricted. They want friendly reporters in there, so you got to ask twice. Thank you, Chicago Biden sponsors the show again. Dropping a 5 spot in the tip jar saying, question, haven't most mass shooters obtained guns illegally? In most cases, absolutely. Absolutely they have. That's pretty much the norm. And in any case, they are using them illegally, clearly. So, all right. Last couple of articles. Will car makers be the ones to finally murder conservative talk radio? So this is an article how car makers are starting to basically not put radios in your cars. No single conservative talk show radio could ever replace the late, great Rush Limbaugh, and maybe nothing could replace talk radio in its daily reach to millions of conservative listeners. How often do you hop in your car, turn the ignition, and find a radio already on and turn to your favorite host? Every time, almost every time, when I'm not listening to music in my car or my iPhone, I'm not sure the virtual dial has ever left my favorite local talk station. Talk radio is how tens of millions of us get our daily dose of unfiltered news and opinion. Look, this is going to argue that because, the advent of Bluetooth and whatever, that it's going to hurt talk radio. Look, talk radio is a person who grew up with radio's, venue, right? I drive my truck all the time. I never listen to talk radio anymore. I used to listen to talk radio all the time. But because I have a phone with Bluetooth, I can listen to all kinds of things. Some people listen to podcasts. Some people listen to all kinds of stuff. It's not going to change the market of conservative radio. Maybe conservative talk radio, but many of those venues are moving on to the other technologies also. I listen to talk shows from other states, other places, and all different kinds of media. So yes, talk radios. I rarely touch my radio anymore. I always have something else. I watch a series of YouTube videos or whatever, or listen to, I listen to my friends, Randy Monkey, and occasionally Ricada Law, and I listen to all kinds of things on demand, just like everyone's doing. It's just like TV networks are not the same as they used to be because there's so many other choices. Just got to keep up with the technology. Many people on the right do and have excelled at it. So not so worried about it. Rush Limbaugh's gone, and he was the one guy that I might have listened to if I would turn on the talk radio. I don't. Most of the other ones have podcasts or put them out in a different way. Big deal. Oh, this is the other one. And here's an article in the Federalist. How can media identify white supremacy in the Hispanic shooter, but not trans murder, anti-Christian hate? And I made this point the other day. It's like, wow, they can figure out that this Hispanic dude is a white supremacist in about less than 24 hours, but they're still not going to put out the manifesto of the trans Nashville shooter. Wow, we don't know. We certainly already know the motive of this guy in less than 24 hours, but we're not sure about the motive of this person who wrote a fucking manifesto about it. So the Democrats and their partners, the corporate media, Department of Justice, and everything is about maintaining a narrative, and there's no better example of this than their disparate reactions to the March Nashville shooting and this week's Texas shooting. On Sunday, okay, you'll get the picture. You can read this. It's a great article, but I'm not going to go through it because... Oh, and there's another one here. Apparently, this is in California. This is Engagement with Groomers now has a website and has articles. California parents docked, attacked, and intimidated by Antifa mob. So, several months ago, our former director of chapters, Mario Presents, attended a meeting in Conejo Valley, California, at the request of concerned bullied parents. The parents, psychologists, and others being pressured into silence about their concerns is occurring all over the country. Shocker. We've had multiple parents from California fill us in on some that they have had with this district. The first situation involves a local clinical psychologist who spoke against gender-affirming curriculum. She delivered a sincere and professional speech about her concerns. She commended the school on being inclusive of students who may feel different or isolated. She encouraged the importance of empathy, but she feels like some of the school's policies are creating adverse effects on the mental health of students. Before adolescence, children do not have the neural connections of brain architecture to understand the concept of identity. So when third graders are presented with abstract concepts about transgenderism and gender fluidity, they are not able to process these concepts in a rational way. They can only think in terms of black and white. They can only use concrete thought. The schools are introducing abstract concepts years before students are able to mentally process them. Some children have been seeking therapy because the school material is causing confusion and psychological issues. Young girls are developing hatred and insecurity about their bodies. She had a patient who was anorexic because she wanted to delay puberty. She was afraid of developing curves and hips like females do during puberty. She eventually got the issue under control and developed according to her natural puberty. A few years later, she started testosterone. Somebody conned her into starting testosterone. Her body returned, and she assumed testosterone would get rid of or redistribute her body fat. She is now detransitioned, suicidal, full of regret, and her body irreversibly altered. She was falsely labeled as transgender and prescribed hormones because of pre-existing psychological conditions that were not addressed before allowing her transition. The psychologist fears that many of these individuals are struggling with other issues that are being clouded by an excessive focus on gender. You think? While she supports diversity and inclusion, she felt her responsibility to voice her concerns because the school policies could be creating more and more cohorts of these girls through what they are learning in school. The psychologist had a complaint lodged with the licensing board for bringing up concerns about the mental health of children in her school board. They tried to take away her license because she gave a professional clinical testimony. And there's just several stories about this in this article, but that's the only one I'm going to feature. I'm going to finish up with Gun Fox's article, which I wasn't about to Oh, good God. Gunfox, are you still here? What the California Reparations Panel says and how likely its proposals are to go into effect. A group of scholars and lawmakers in California just voted to advance a plan to offer reparations to descendants of enslaved people in the state. Coming at the end of a 2-year process, the momentous proposal is the first state-level attempt to grapple with the lingering effects of slavery and racist laws. This is a CBS, it's CBS Money Watch, so it's going to be sympathetic to this. It comes in the price tag of billions of dollars and a potential payouts of $1.2 million for older residents, according to some media calculations. But the process is just beginning. California's task force must now hand over its findings to lawmakers, who will be charged with turning the recommendations into a bill. Here's what else to know about the weekend's decision. Okay, so here's the task force made a proposals. Create a new agency to implement any reparations laws stemming from the report. Abolish the death penalty. Pay fair market value for jail and prison labor. Now, I don't have a problem with that one. I think if you are in prison and they have you working as part of prison sentence, granted, they should pay fair market value for your labor, but your restitution to your victims should also come out of that fair market value prison labor. I bet that's not what they meant, though, is it? Prevent private prisons from contracting with the state. Why? I somewhat understand why people hate the idea of private prisons. And yet I also understand why private prisons are a thing. Private prisons can do things in more efficient ways than government prisons, just because. I think there needs to be strict restrictions and guidelines on private prisons, but I've never understood the complete. I haven't. Maybe I just don't know the issue well enough. So anyway, make public colleges and universities in the state free for anyone eligible for reparations. Well, if you're make one or the other, either make it free as the reparations, or make them pay for their own shit if you're going to give them free money. Make Election Day a paid state holiday. It has nothing to do with fucking reparations. Fund wellness centers in Africa. And in California, who cares? Everyone votes Democrat in California anyway. It's not going to improve any. Oh, wait. Actually, no. That might be detrimental to them because the people who work and have jobs are usually on the right. Anyway, that's a joke. Fund wellness centers in African American communities. Restore voting rights to people convicted of crimes. I don't have a problem with that. If they've paid their time and completed the restitution to anyone that they owe for the crime they committed. Once you've completed your parole or whatever, and once you are absolutely free and clear of the state, I think people should get their voting rights back. I don't have a problem with that. You paid your time, you get your rights back. That's just me. Adopt a universal health insurance system in the state. Okay, wow. I might come into the rest of us tomorrow because I don't have time. But guys, I got to go. None of those have to do with reparations, I guess. And they're saying, because that would be for all. Oh, good God. All right, guys, I got to go. Thanks for being here on the Morning Night Live. I'm here Monday through Friday around this time, early, somewhere around 9 o'clock in the morning, Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern. And thanks for everyone who sponsors the show: Tyler Alexander, Chicago Mike, Jimmy Das Hotep, and GodFox61, who is the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Hit the like button before you go. Share PDogNight.live for 24-hour donations, and I'll drop all these links in the chat during the outro. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. My name is P Dog Night, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is P Dog Night, and thank you for watching today on the P Dog Night channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.